2, baby! After the UA attack, all the teachers really did was sit around and go, damn, that's crazy. After returning, Ayuzawa announces the UA Sports Festival is coming up, so all the students start to prepare. Right before the festival starts, Todoroki walks up to Deku and declares war and is going to prove that he's the best. The first game in the sports festival is an obstacle course. They come across the 0-point robots from the entrance exam, but Todoroki just ices them up quick and gets through. This man was put in the show just to look cool. But Deku, with his creativeness, he comes first, and Todoroki and Bakugo come in a close second and third. The second game is a cavalry battle. Since Deku has so many points, no one wants to team with him but Ochako, somebody from the support course, and Tokoyami. As soon as the game starts, they get bum rushed and they just run for like the whole game, but end up getting their headband stolen by Todoroki and attempt to steal it back, but stealing the wrong one. Just in time, Tokoyami steals one when nobody was looking, and they advance to the next round. After the second part of the festival, Todoroki meets Deku and tells him why he won't use his left fireside. He doesn't like his dad because he paid Todoroki's mom's parents to get married to his daughter because of her quirk and make overpowered kids. It makes him train absurd amounts just so he can become number one, something he couldn't do. He only uses his eyesight because he likes his mom, even though she's like always sad and shit and like tried to burn him with boiling hot water, but you know, silver lining. As the final round starts, it's a one-on-one tournament. Here are the matches. Deku gets plot armored into a win. You're telling me that past use of his quirk stopped him from walking out the ring? My ass! Todoroki wins his match and moves on to fight Deku in the next round. In round 2, Todoroki versus Deku. Deku, with his inspiring speech, convinces him to use his fireside and give it his all. And with some stunning animation, Todoroki wins. During the festival, Ida's brother, a pro hero, gets beaten down by someone named the Hero Killer Stain. No, not that kind of Stain. He rambles about how the world is corrupt and gets approached by Kurogiri to join the League of Villains. In the final round of the tournament, it's Todoroki versus Bakugo. Todoroki still has hesitations about using his fireside, so because he chose not to use it, Bakugo wins the sports festival. The students have the next 2 days off, so Ida goes to see his brother in the hospital and Todoroki goes to see his mom. After they return to school, all of Class 1A has to choose their hero names. Deku chooses Deku, and let's be honest, you don't really care about anyone else. All the students were given offers from different agencies, and they have to decide on which one they want to choose to intern at. Deku chooses to intern at Gran Torino's agency. The rest chose one similar to the hero they want to be, but Ida chooses one in Hozu City, where his brother got murked. While Deku is training with Gran Torino, he learns how to control his power more, as well as the rest of the students improving their skill and style. Stain denies joining the league because they lack conviction, but then says yes anyway and just joins. The police officer investigating the attack on UA finds out that the Nomus used to be people that have been genetically altered to hold more than one quirk, and tells All Might. After deciding to team up with the league, they return to Hozu City and Shigaraki releases 3 more Nomus, and Stain decides to just go and do his own thing. You know, kill a hero too. But Ida sees him and decides to run up on him. Gran Torino and Deku are in the area and get attacked by a Nomu. Gran Torino keeps it at bay. Endeavor, Todoroki's dad, and the number 2 hero shows up and demerges the Nomu. Just before Ida gets stabbed by Stain, Deku pulls up and gets dominated as well. But he sent a text to Todoroki with his location, so he pulls up.
I got jumped in LA by some pussy ass and they jumped me. Nobody gave me the faith of a one-on-one, and nobody gave me the respect of a one-on-one, and I painted that when he was on the ground.
Finally, with the help of Todoroki, they defeat him. After taking down one, Endeavor goes after another Nomu and takes it down as well. Say what you want about his parenting, he's a good hero. As the last Nomu flies away, he flies towards Stain. Stain escapes and kills the Nomu and goes on a rant before his pierced lung kills him. After Deku, Ida, and Todoroki recover, the chief of police visits them in the hospital and tells them they should be in big trouble for killing Stain because they are underage and don't have their hero license. But he says he can forgive them as long as they don't get accredited for it, and they all unanimously agreed. Because of Stain's ideals, it inspires a lot of standalone villains to head to join the League of Villains since Stain was a part, which predicts a large amount of increase in crimes in the near future. All the students return from their internships and are taken to another training facility. At the end of the day, All Might asks Deku to see him so he can tell him the full truth and origin about One for All. All Might says his quirk was derived from another quirk called All for One. The ability of All for One is to take others' quirks and keep it, or give it to others. The wielder of All for One went by the same name of the quirk. He did all kinds of evil things like take people's quirks, leaving them mindless, similar to the Nomu. All for One had a younger brother with no quirk, but that had a strong sense of justice, so he was against everything his brother was doing. Eventually, All For One got tired of this and forced his quirk on his brother. They then found out he did have a quirk, and it was the ability to pass on abilities. That ability is what we now know to be One For All. All Might defeated All For One, but he decided to tell Deku this because he suspects All For One is the one behind the Nomu's creations and the League of Villains. Exams are starting soon, and all the students have to pass both written and practical exams to go on to the summer trip to a training facility in the woods with the rest of the class. After finishing the written exam, they find out they have to face their teachers in pairs to pass the practical exam. Here are the matchups. To pass, the students need to capture their teacher or run away and leave the stadium. Everyone wins except for Kirishima and Sato, and Ashido and Kiminari. That includes Deku and Bakugo. They somehow work together to escape from All Might. After that, we cut to the League of Villains hideout. They continued to reluctantly add more people to their group. I think we all saw this coming, but even though not everybody passed, everybody's still going on the camp outside. All the students decide to go to the mall to shop for things they need for the trip. They all split up into groups, but Deku was alone and gets held hostage by a fan, which ended up being Shigaraki. Shigaraki asks Deku a few questions and just walks away. Shigaraki goes back to the hideout, while All For One says he's ready to make Shigaraki his successor.